We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Just do what must be done. This may not be happiness, but it is greatness. The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it, and become blind to the arguments against it. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react. Beware of the man who does not return your blow. He neither forgives you nor allows you to forgive yourself. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. When a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, he always declares that it is his duty. The man with a toothache thinks everyone's happy whose teeth are sound. The poverty-stricken man makes the same mistake about the rich man. The fact that a believer is happier than a skeptic is no more to the point than the fact that a drunken man is happier than a sober one. The only service a friend can really render is to keep up your courage by holding up to you a mirror in which you can see a noble image of yourself. Men are wise in proportion not to their experience, but to their capacity for experience. In this world there is always danger for those who are afraid of it. When a man says money can do anything, that settles it. He hasn't got any. What a man believes may be ascertained, not from his creed, but from the assumptions on which he habitually acts. We must always think about things, and we must think about things as they are, not as they are said to be. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. A gentleman is one who puts more into the world than he takes out. Kings are not born. They are made by artificial hallucination. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Do not try to live forever. You will not succeed. You have learned something that always feels at first as if you had lost something. Most people do not pray, they only beg. Home life is no more natural to us than a cage is natural to a cockatoo. Capitalism has destroyed our belief in any effective power, but that of self-interest backed by force. If you leave the smallest corner of your head vacant for a moment, other people's opinions will rush in from all quarters. Until the men of action clear out the talkers, we who have social consciences are at the mercy of those who have none. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. If history repeats itself, and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Some people look at the world and say, why? Some people look at the world and say, why not? The only time my education was interrupted was when I was in school. Don't lose faith. Promise yourself that you will be a success story, and I promise you that all the forces of the universe will unite to come to your aid. You might not feel today or for a while, but the longer you wait, the bigger the prize. The things most people want to know about are usually none of their business. Woman reduces us all to the common denominator. Experience fails to teach where there is no desire to learn. The only person who acts sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measure anew every time he sees me. Everyone else goes by their old measurements. Life is not meant to be easy, my child, but take courage. It can be delightful. Tradition will accustom people to any atrocity. Our lives are shaped not as much by our experiences as by our expectations. It is not enough to know what is good. You must be able to do it. It is the first duty of every man not to be poor. As long as I have a want, I have a reason for living. Satisfaction is death. If you begin by sacrificing yourself to those you love, you will end by hating those to whom you have sacrificed yourself. Make it a rule never to give a child a book you would not read yourself. The great secret is not having bad manners or good manners, but having the same manner for all human souls. The businessman, the man to whom age brings golf instead of wisdom. I'm sick of all the reasonable people. They see all the reasons for doing nothing. It is not pleasure that makes life worth living. It is life that makes pleasure worth having. Imitation is not just the sincerest form of flattery. It's the sincerest form of learning. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures, so I did 10 times more work. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. What right has any human being to talk of bringing up a child? You do not bring up a tree or a plant. It brings itself up. You have to give it a fair chance by tilling the soil. To me, the sole hope of human salvation lies in teaching. It is feeling that sets a man thinking, and not thought that sets him feeling. I like a state of continual becoming, with a goal in front and not behind. When the master has come to do everything through the slave becomes his master, since he cannot live without him. A learned man is an idler who kills time by study. To be in hell is to drift. To be in heaven is to steer. We want a few mad people now. See where the same ones have landed us. The right to know is like the right to live. It is fundamental and unconditional in its assumption that knowledge, like life, is a desirable thing. Start with the belief that your life can indeed be changed and that you have the power to change it. Success covers a multitude of blunders.